Hello, today in the lesson we continue to study decimal fractional numbers. In the previous lesson we looked at the decimal notation of a fractional number and paid attention to how to convert a decimal fraction into an ordinary fraction. And today we will look at a few more examples that will help us to translate a decimal fraction into an ordinary fraction. Let's go through the following example with you. Okay, I'm writing down the following decimal 5 whole 3800ths. How do I convert this number to an ordinary fraction? That is, use a fractional dash in your record. Write equal. So we remember that this symbol separates the whole part and the fractional part in our decimal notation. So 5, that would be 5 integers. So I'm writing 5 whole. Next, we pay attention to how many digits come after our period. So that's 2 digits. What do they tell us? Well, the thing is, I always write in the denominator. Only 10, 100,000, 10,000, a million, and so on. That is those numbers that are made up of ones and zeros. The number of zeros determines the number of decimal places. That is, if we have 2 decimal places, then I will write 2 zeros in the denominator. And I'll write the number 38 in the numerator. And as a result, we have a fraction of 5.3800ths. Of course, if there is such a need, this fraction can be reduced. Let's reduce it, and it will be 5.1950ths. But today we're learning exactly how to write a decimal fraction as a mixed number. So in our next examples, we're not going to be reducing the fraction. In our next lessons, we'll learn how to convert a regular fraction into a decimal fraction, but everything in order. So 5.3800ths is 5.3800ths written as a mixed number. The next number is 3 whole 1000. Note that in the decimal, that is in the fractional part, we have zeros. How do we write down this number? Well, 3 integers. We know how to write it down. It's 3 integers. And now let's write down what the denominator is. This will tell us the number of digits after our point. So that's 3 digits. We know that I always write 1 on the number of zeros. Will be 3. So 1, 2, 3. So what do we put in the numerator? Of course, we can move the given number 001. But in this case, this record will turn out not quite beautiful. So if we say and read 3.1 thousandths, I can still write it down as 3.1 thousandths. And as a result, the given fraction will denote 3 whole 1000ths. The next number I would like to write down as an ordinary fractional number is 3 whole 100,000ths. Let's try to write this number down. I'm going to write down 3 100,000ths. In this case, I have the number 100,000ths. That's how I spell 3 100,000ths. But I have 2 zeros at the end, and in this case I have 3 zeros. So I can reduce this fraction. So I end up with 3 integers. 1. So if I remove the zeros, I get 1/10. Why do I give this example? The point is that when we go back to our record and notice that the original decimal was 3.100 thousandths and the result is 3.1/10, which we can write as 3.1/10. We can conclude that if at the end of a decimal the last number is 0, then we can safely exclude them, remove them, don't write them down. Then 3.100,000ths would be 3.1/10. But in the case of our second example, 3.1000, this fraction in this decimal notation, we can by no means remove the zeros because they stand before the 1. We can only remove the zeros that come after the number, that is the last zeros. So 3.1000 is only 3.1000. Please memorize this rule and apply it correctly. At the next lesson, we will learn with you to write the common fraction in the form of a decimal fraction. And that's all for today. Goodbye. See you again.